With each game that has passed, some top tiers are not destined to last. However, others fly undetected. Now it is Robocop's duty to keep the lore of the great Goxaraxus Axis protected. In each Mortal Kombat game, and across fighting games in general, there's always going to be a character that flies under the radar. I think in Mortal Kombat 11, Robocop is that guy. So let's break down why he is just so insane right now. Okay, so what changed for this character since he was released? Initially they buffed him to be 1050 health from 1000, and then the patch after that they buffed him again to 1100. This is a huge change for a character like him because he's a zoner. So he's playing the I've got the life lead game, but now he's playing the I've got the life lead game with 10% more health off the get-go. So round one fight, he's already in the range he wants to be, and he's already at health advantage. However, the biggest change for Robocop wasn't anything specifically done to him, it was a universal change done for everyone. Opening up custom variations means that now you can actually build the perfect Robocop variation that covers all of his weaknesses while still abusing the strengths that he's been given, like having the extra health. Subscribe! If we have a quick look here at the no combos variation, you'll see the three moves selected are terminal strip, that's a mid command grab, can't go wrong with a mid command grab in this game. Lower 09, it's a gunshot, low profiles, it's a mid itself, again can't go wrong with something like that. And the Chevelle trap, which is relatively unique to Robocop, but it also gives him two moves, so he gets the anti-crime spikes and the anti-crime weed. So let's talk about how they synergize with one another. To stop a criminal in these Combat League streets, you're going to need a powerful weapon. The Robocop, lower 09, 18 frames, goes under high projectiles, as you can see, has a KB attached to it. This is going to set the pace of the game. It's always going to make them have to think about something, no matter where they are on the screen. They're either going to be defending it or maneuvering it. Ultimately, what makes a low gunshot strong is that you're going to be blasting people's kneecaps, and their options are maneuver or block. Maneuver being jump or teleport or something along those lines, which is a commitment, so it's commit or stay static. And Robo has pretty much the perfect answer for both of those options. Next on the list is the terminal strip, the mid command grip. Comes out in 11 frames, pushes near on full screen, definitely full screen with the EX. Does decent chunks of damage. It's also your combo ender, good for conditioning people, and you're going to be able to set it up a lot with the low gunshot because people will be walking in and blocking, so you can then just dash up and command grab. Third and final move here. In game it's known as the Chevelle trap, but in reality it is known as the anti-crime spikes. The anti-crime spikes are essentially area denial and damage over time at the same time. So you can see I can shoot them full screen if I hold up, far if I hold forward, medium if I do nothing, and close if I hold back while I shoot them. Once the spikes are out, you can't dash through the area they're in. That's what I mean by area denial. Look, see? This is me trying to forward dash. Do it again. Try and back dash. See, I'm kind of stuck in place, so I have to walk. This is what you got to do. Got to walk through them. So that means that your movement options has become limited. They basically turn into walk. This is your options. You walk, you stay put, or you jump. A tricky little trick you can use with the anti-crime spikes is using it in combination with the big gun, the Cobra Cannon. Normally you'd be shooting the low gun, so they'd be crouch blocking. But if they end up crouch blocking and the big gun comes, it pushes them back into the spikes. So then they've got to walk off of it again. And then obviously you just big gun them back on. And then when they start ducking that, you just shoot them with the low gun. Subscribe! So all three of these moves together essentially serve the same purpose, right? You're going to be doing low gun. They either take it or jump it. Then you got command grip, you either take it.
So please take it, just take it.
And then the spikes is either you take it, you walk through it, or you jump it. So all of these special moves combined add a lot of incentive to the opponent to jump. So you have evolved into being a god of the ground game. They're either blocking or eating all your gunshots, they're taking all your command grabs, and they're stuck in the mud on your anti-crime spikes. Now what they're going to do, they're going to naturally start jumping. Everyone's going to do it eventually. Fortunately for Robocop, he's got some of the best anti-airs in the game. His forward 3 knee, deceptively good for an anti-air. It's a mid, it's fast, does 30%. He's also got down back 1 with the gun. He's also what I call a foolproof anti-air. What I mean by foolproof anti-air is something that will work even if they attempt to throw off your anti-air timing. So look, we have Cabal here doing jump buzzsaw. And if I try and anti-air it traditionally, I'll get hit because he stalls in the air and throws his buzzsaw, right? But if I do that with the gun, it doesn't matter. Like, the worst that's going to happen is I'll trade. The best that will happen is I'm not going to be lost on that interaction and still get my damage, right? So up to now, we've gone through how to get people to jump and how to punish people for jumping. Now what we need to know is what strikes we use when people are on the ground. It's pretty straightforward with Robocop. You're going to do forward 3, 2, which is the flip side to your command grab, because your command grab's 11, that's a mid. Forward 3, 2 is 10, also a mid, and it's confirmable. Forward 3, 2 is strong because it gives you the anti-crime weed on hit. So you're going to do forward 3, 2, EX spikes, but hold back, so you're going to do the close one. The reason this is strong is because it gives you a guaranteed throw attempt, right? So as you can see, that's a high. He's always going to duck it if there's a gap to duck it. He couldn't duck it. So that's what makes forward 3, 2 strong when you combine it with the EX anti-crime spikes. As you can see here, Robo has a crush and blow on both of his throws, both triggered by the same thing, which is escape failed on the previous throw. So what that means is every time you hit someone, you get your 16%, then they guess on this 13%. So that's a free attempt at 29%. But if they've got escape failed, it then becomes a free guess on 46%. So you're taking half life on just hitting them once and then making them guess on an inescapable throw. Like, you can't jump it and you can't duck it, so there's no risk for you to do it. Well, it's part of what makes him top tier. Like, not being able to get down to KB, I think, is a really strong strength, and then you combine that with all the other things going on, it just gets kind of ridiculous. Your forward 3, 2 is all well and good. The downside to it is it's -6, leaves you point blank on block. So if you're wrong, you're at their mercy. It could be worse. If you don't want to get as much reward, but don't want to take as much risk, you can use back 1, 2. This move's good because you can see it recovers the space. Like, you basically start further back than where you initially hit them. So it's not as easy for them to get back in and do something in retaliation. This works pretty nicely with the anti-crime spikes. It'll keep you on the spikes for a little bit and they can't dash through it. You know, you can just keep rinsing this in their face a bit. Get more mileage out of the spikes. Other than that, the only 2 buttons you're really going to use are down 1, your generic get off me move, and down 4. You're going to use down 4 when they're doing things like, you know how Sub-Zero players will be like do string, backdash, or Fujin players will do something, backdash. You're going to do down 4 because it's got massive range, decent hit advantage. You're going to do down 1 when they're obviously close enough, but you need to be careful because they might backdash and slap you for that, so be careful with that. Got an honourable mention for the forward 2 on 2 string. This is a crush and blow on counter hit. I would only really use that if I've got no bar to do the this into this mix up. That's because this is the potential for that is higher, the damage is higher, and even if let's say they block this, you're still within like grab range. So it's not even like that string where you can get away. Basically, just do this as a punish, or like a whiff punish, or something along those lines. If you can set up a counter, something like that. So everything here makes Robocop essentially close to the perfect character for this game. He's got everything that makes you want to jump. So he's got a projectile that controls the pace. He's got spikes that stop you from dashing. He's got command grab that forces you to jump as well. He's got anti-airs that are probably 2 of the best anti-airs in the entire game, and they hurt when they hit you. His offense is 1 frame guess. So like this is 10 frames. This is 11 frames, you're guessing. And then, let's say he hits you with his strike. Now he's got a legit 50-50 you have to guess on and you can't escape. Which could be half your life if you've got escape failed on. So yeah, his offense is strong, his zoning is clearly strong, his anti-air is strong. Can't really go wrong with this character. And if you look in terms of the meta of this game as well, a lot of characters have to throw you. And when they have to throw you, most of them don't loop. So Robo's one of them, for example. He'll push you full screen. But when you're doing that to a character like Robocop, they want to be full screen. So that means against a lot of characters, just let them throw you out. So you just hold on to block, turtle up, let them throw you out, and now it's your game again. Now that I have given you this knowledge of my vision of the character, take that knowledge and go abuse people in Combat League with it until they cry. That is the way of the OCP. You only realistically have to remember a few things and focus on them when you're playing the character. You want to force them to jump, you want to anti-air them, and you want to chip them out as much as possible on the spikes. That's all you got to do. And then you just got to take into account whatever matchup you're playing, if you've got to be aware of a certain other option like a teleport. But it's not too complex, it just requires discipline. And as long as you focus on it, you'll get it. Subscribe! Criminals are of an infinite pool. Not one policeman can punish them all. The great Goxaraxis raises his alarms. This is his call to arms.